Hi there, I am the Reverend Danny Crosby, a Unitarian minister serving congregations in Altrincham and in Urmston in the northwest of England. And I offer this devotion as a balm for the heart, for the mind, for the spirit, for the soul. And it's titled, Let Beauty Awake for Beauty's sake. Let beauty awake for beauty's sake. And I'll begin with a little bit of Mary Oliver. Can't go wrong with that, can you? So here's Mindful by Mary Oliver. Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of light. It was what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside the soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can you help but grow wise from such teachings as these? The untrimmable light of the world, the ocean's shine, the prayers that are made out of grass. Mindful by Mary Oliver. It is easy to look at the world and to see in the world what is destructive and life-denying, what is ugly. It is less easy to become consistently aware of what is good, true, and beautiful. This requires discipline to open our eyes, our minds, our hearts, and to keep all our senses, to keep them all open. It takes consistent effort, especially when so much destruction tries to pull our attention away from it. Beauty appears as a grace, but it takes effort to be aware and thus be affected and moved by beauty. That doesn't come unbidden. It's not just a given. That said, if we do, and if we keep on doing so, despite the very troubles that we are surrounded by, we will begin to see beauty everywhere, not only in nature, but in one another. There's a lot of bad news out there, but there's a lot of good news as well. Pass the word and help keep hope alive. For it's not good enough to merely see beauty. We must be moved by beauty and moved into action by beauty, so as to continue to create things of beauty ourselves, or even become people of beauty by living beautiful lives. It can change you any day. Plato believed that love was born of beauty and that it tapped into our basic human drive and desire for good, that it was not a private or self-indulgent act of pleasure, and that the ability to love beauty has created all the good things that exist for gods and for men. Beauty brings to mind a favourite passage of mine from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 26, verses 6 to 13. Look them up. It's a passage that's much debated, and some really don't like the passage, but I see it in a slightly different way to the common view, really. And it's not like because some have used it wrongly in the past, I believe, as a justification for tolerating poverty. I don't think it's got anything to do with that. And to see it that way, actually, to focus on that, is to fail to recognise actually what is the central message of the Gospel of Matthew. And the central message of the Gospel of Matthew, as I see it, is this idea of the abundant blessing of love. That's the whole core of that gospel. So to see it that way is to fail to recognise this central message. And this passage, I believe, really taps in to that central message. The power of the story is in its recognition of abundant love. It's not some finite resource. It describes a woman who loves and cares for Jesus. She anoints him with oil because she loves him dearly. It truly is an act of loving near gracious abandonment, what love is about, to lavish. She's overflowing with love and wants to anoint those she loves with her love. This is beauty in action. This is a soul awakened by beauty and inspired to act lovingly. Her heart is overflowing with love, and she wants to pour out this love onto Jesus, who will no longer be with her or the disciples. Very soon, it's coming towards the end. Now this to me is a message for everyone. It's something that we can all do. We can all pour out our attentive love on one another, pour out our love on life if we are inspired by love, by beauty, to act lovingly. But that's up to us. That doesn't come unbidden. We can offer care and attention to each other and everyone around us. In so doing, we will help create beauty all around us from our own hearts. And this concept to me is the central theme of the flower communion, which the congregations I serve are sharing this weekend. To recognise the beauty in all life, the sacred beauty in life and in each individual person. To sanctify our individual beauty. Each life is sacred, each life is unique, each life is a blessing. So we should glorify that. We should lavish it with love, inspired by beauty. Like every flower is beautiful, and spread it like the bees spread the pollen. Dante claimed that beauty awakens the soul to act. Beauty awakens the soul of me in so many indescribable ways, and it compels me to act in such ways as to pour out that beauty within me onto the world in which I live and breathe and share my life, in reverence for that life. That which I revere, I want to pour out my love on, for that which I see as beautiful. It inspires me to act beautifully. Beauty not only awakens the soul, but it also fills the heart to overflowing. It certainly compels me to pour my heart out in loving ways. In fact, perhaps true beauty, in a truly human sense, is to act in loving ways, to act in the world morally and lovingly. This is beauty in action in life. For beauty is all around us. We are surrounded by beauty. If we open ourselves to beauty, the beauty will fill our hearts. The beauty will awaken our souls. The beauty will lead us to act lovingly and morally. This is beauty in action. If we create beauty with our own hands, we will touch each individual soul we meet, and they will grow and flower to their own potential. We will beautify them as they beautify us. We are here to enjoy the beauty that we are surrounded by and to pour out the beauty that lays within us on the world, and thus bring to fruition this beauty in the world all around us. Let beauty awake for beauty's sake. Awake from slumber and awake from dreams. Let beauty awake from deep, deep within us, and let's pour beauty out from deep within us, and let's lavish our world with beauty. How could we act more beautifully? Here is a beautiful poem, actually, A Modest Love by Edward Dyer. Dyer was a contemporary of Shakespeare. It's an old poem, hundreds of years old. So here's A Modest Love by Edward Dyer. The lowest trees have tops, the ant her gall, the fly her spleen, the little sparks their heat. The slender hairs cast shadows, though but small, and bees have stings, although they be not great. Seas have their source, and so have shallow springs, and love is love, in beggars as in kings. Where rivers smoothest run, deep are the fords. The dial stirs, yet none perceive its move. The firmest faith is in the fewest words, and turtles cannot sing, and yet they love. True hearts have eyes and ears, no tongues to speak. They hear and see and sigh, and then they break. This poem by Edward Dyer may be one of the most beautiful in the English language. When I think of what is beautiful, what touches me beautifully, I think of these words. Dyer must have known and recognised the beauty that is present in life. He must have been touched deeply by it and by life. To recognise the beauty is the most humblest aspect of life. To be touched by beauty is to live fully alive. We can all do, something we can all do. We can all pour out this attentive love on one another and on life by paying it our greatest attention. What we see as loving, what we love, what we see as beautiful requires our deepest attention. We must become connoisseurs of such beauty by giving it our full care and attention, by giving life our full care and attention. And in so doing, we create beauty all around us. It will just surround us. But it needs our care and attention. We must become connoisseurs of such beauty and see what it needs to bring to full flower. And that brings to mind a rather little anecdote by William McNamara, who wrote, "I once lived near a mansion where only one of the many gardeners employed had succeeded with every one of the roses. I asked him his secret of his success. He told me that the other gardeners treated all the roses not unwisely, but too generally. They treated them all in precisely the same way, whereas he himself watched each rosebud separately and followed out for each plant its special need for soil, manure, sun, air, water, support and shelter." To act beautifully is to pay attention to the individual needs of all around us. And beauty is all around us. Pay attention. Become connoisseurs of beauty. We are surrounded by beauty. If we open ourselves to beauty, the beauty will fill our hearts. The beauty will awaken our souls. The beauty will lead us to act lovingly and morally. And in so doing, we will be fully alive. This is beauty in action. If we create beauty with our own hands, we will touch each individual soul that we meet with beauty, and they will grow and they will flower to their own full potential. We will help bring them to their full potential, to their fruition. We are here to enjoy the beauty that we are surrounded by and to pour out the beauty that lays within us and thus bring to fruition in the world all around us such beauty. We are here to live our beautiful lives, fully alive. As Desmond Tutu wrote, "We were made to enjoy music, to enjoy beautiful sunsets, to enjoy looking at the billows of a sea and to be thrilled with a rose that is bedecked with dew. Human beings are actually created for the transcendent, for the sublime, for the beautiful, for the truthful. And all of us are given the task of trying to make this world a little more hospitable to these beautiful things. So, let beauty awake, for beauty's sake. Awake from slumber and awake from dreams. Let beauty awake from deep within us. Let beauty pour out from us. Let the beauty be lavished by us. May we lavish our world with beauty. Let beauty awake to us. May it awaken us to life. May it awaken us to life more fully and more abundantly. Let beauty awake for beauty's sake. Awake from slumber and awake from dreams. Amen. So I'm going to end with some words of blessing. We know we don't bless enough, and we ought to bless more. And everyone can bless with their beautiful, loving presence. So why not try offering blessings by blessing the world with your beautiful presence all of this day and in every day to come. And now I invite us to return back to our lives, but to do so in beauty and in peace, touched by the beauty of this time together. And why don't you ask of yourselves and of life the beautiful questions? Be open to what life may offer in return to those beautiful questions. And you never know. You never know. You might just begin to live your way into some beautiful answers. Maybe. Maybe, just be open to the beauty. May it bless you. May it awaken you deep down within you and pour out such love. And may the beauty and the blessings of God be with us all, and may it do so in all that we feel, in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Go in beauty. Go in beauty. Go in beauty and love and in peace. Amen.